Good evening. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now, Kentucky. And yes, our winter storm is going. I know it's a little bit later for some of you than we originally projected, but again, with systems that have polar air and other kinds of different convections to it, it's going to be a little bit off on timing. It just always is. Doesn't really change our forecast too much. We'll go over our latest forecast. We'll go over latest model data. We'll check in on the current conditions on the radar and temperatures. Explain to you why this is going to be a light snowfall, but a very efficient snowfall. So all that good stuff that we always do. Of course, as you're coming into the broadcast, if you would not mind, please tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. We'll get rolling here at about 7:46, so it'll hear in about 2 minutes. Tap that share button at the bottom portion of your screen. It helps us grow, and it helps your friends and family get informed and updated on what to expect. So we appreciate your help with that. I'm sure your friends and family do as well. Angela, Trinity, Shelly, Laura, thank you guys for the shares on the broadcast. Over there on YouTube, good evening to you guys. How are you doing? We're live on both YouTube and Facebook tonight, as we always are. And I just realized I can't see my YouTube chat. You know, hey, listen, YouTube has been working perfectly fine. And then last couple of days, it's been Facebook. And then tonight, once again, it's YouTube. So, you gotta love it. I even restarted our internet and everything before I did this. There's my live button. Okay, now I should be able to see the YouTube chat. There we go. Hey, Jose, we'll get into all that. We'll get into all that, my friend. Stay patient. I want to allow everyone to get in here and get settled in so no one misses out on the information. Stephanie, Diana, Tracy, Kay, Angela, Haley, Amy, Angela, again, everyone, thank you for all the shares in the broadcast. I see those numbers and the likes skyrocketing. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Vicky, hello over on YouTube. Ethan, hello. How are you, my friend? Julie, good evening to you. Stephanie, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Is it ever going to end? I do have some good news that after this system, it does look like we get a break for a little bit. I'm not going to say winter goes away because I do think winter returns in March, but we get a bit of a break at least, and I think we all deserve that. Again, if you're just now hopping on the broadcast, you have not missed a thing. Good evening to you. We're going to get started here in about 30 to 40 seconds, so stay patient here with us, and we're going to get all that information out to you and all that good stuff. Even managed to get some eggs today. Oh my goodness, lucky you. I don't know what's going on with all that stuff. Don't get no politics stuff starting, guys. You guys know I will ban you. Don't get no. I just want to put that out there. I kind of can already see it coming. And it's not that I may disagree or agree with you. I just don't want to see it. Shannon, Dylan, Jacob, Chrissy, Jenna, Stephanie, Diana, thank you guys for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate that. All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with W&K. Jose, thank you for your $2 on YouTube. I appreciate that. And tonight we do have a winter storm that's going to impact the areas. We already saw quite the aggressive wave this morning. It was alive for a lot longer than it should have been. There was dry air at play. Everything was there, and it should have died off after a couple hours. And it just kind of said, "Screw it! I don't care what I'm supposed to do. I'm just going to do my own thing." And honestly, I love that. But before we get into the winter information, I do want to kind of bring you some sad news that we can now confirm 14 deaths have occurred as a result of the flooding in Kentucky. And unfortunately, we only expect that number to rise over the next 24 to 36 hours as more rivers continue to rise until they crest on Thursday. So here is a link. I'm going to put it in the chat. Again, you can do it if you want to. No pressure at all. Just if you have $5 or whatever, make sure you donate to Team Kentucky there. Again, no politics, guys. I don't want to see anything. I don't care about your opinions on anything. This is not politics. This is humanity. So if again you have anything that you can offer, again, donate it there at that link that I just put in the chat for you all. Again, there have been several communities throughout almost all of Kentucky that have been impacted greatly by the floods, and we expect that number to continue to rise, and hopefully we can help them out and get them back on their feet, and then they can prosper once again. So again, sorry to hear that for those folks. Rest in peace. But our love is with you guys and those families affected. But I just wanted to bring you, unfortunately, that bit of a somber moment there, and kind of put that link out there for you guys to share if you want, donate if you like, so on and so forth. Brandon and I have donated a little bit. So yeah. All right. Sad moment over, but I had to report that and at least do my part with sharing the information for you guys to do. All right, Kurt watches in mornings. Part of the job always sucks, man. Hang on, I need a second. They don't tell you before you get into this how hard it's going to be to sometimes know what's coming and not be able to stop it. And that there's only been 3 nights in my life where before I didn't get any sleep, and it was the night before the floods, the night before December 10th of 2021, and the night before January 1st of 2022, and the fourth night, sorry about that, May 25th of 2024. There's been 4 nights throughout my 6 years here, and those were the four. All right, winter storm warnings in pink. Thank you guys for all the star donations, by the way. I'll get to all those in a second. Winter storm warnings in pink, winter weather advisories in blue. Not much has changed with this except for this additional row of counties to the north here: Moorhead, Owensville, Paris, Frankfort, Shelbyville, Louisville, Sandy Hook. All those folks have been added to the winter storm warning. It was a battle, and really could have gone either way. Also, I'm on the wrong screen. Oh my goodness, my sponsors are going to yell at me. It was kind of a battle. They could have left it as a winter storm warning. They could have put it as a winter weather advisory. I think they went ahead and went for the winter storm warning because of what occurred this morning and the technicalities with the different warnings and stuff. So for a winter storm warning, for those of you that may not know or may want to know, a winter storm warning is greater than or equal to 4 inches of snow within a 12-hour period, and you also have to feel like you have 80% confidence in that. So a lot of people forget about the confidence part. Everyone just sees, oh, Louisville's at 3.9 or 4.1 inches. We need to get them a warning, but you have to have a reasonable amount of evidence to support that warning to come out. So that's why it took a little bit longer for Louisville and Frankfurt to get in on those warnings. Oh my goodness, you guys are going absolutely insane. Thank you guys for all the star donations. I promise you. So again, winter weather advisory in blue or purple, whatever you want to call that. Pink, winter storm warnings. So pretty much everyone's in some sort of winter weather advisory or warning, except for Florence, Cold Spring, New Richmond, far northern Kentucky towards Cincinnati. That's kind of where it really, really drops off. All right, so that's your current watches and warnings. Current radar. Let's go ahead and turn the warnings and stuff off, and then give you the current radar here. Our snow has made it into Western Kentucky, and it is coming down pretty good there. 1 to maybe even 2 inch per hour rates, right around 1 to 1.5 inch per hour rates, are dominating all the way from Madisonville to Morganfield, Paducah, even Murray, which I kind of thought this little part down here would be a little bit more north. It's actually a little bit more south. So Murray and places in far like Mayfield down here, far western Kentucky, may exceed their totals just a little bit. We'll see on that though. All right, when I go up here to the other radar, you can kind of see how a dry slot has built in. What did we tell you guys? A dry slot would be the killer for all moods. Now we did know this was going to come. We're kind of dry in the upper layers because polar air, when it first comes in, it tends to really dry out an atmosphere, especially after what we had this morning. It squeezed all that moisture, and it left us a bit dry. So a lot of this is going to take time to actually reach the ground here. Ideally, you would draw a perfect circle here, and this would be your precipitation. But you can see where the dry has kind of mixed in for Elizabethtown, Bardstown, Litchfield, Breckenridge, and Meade counties, so on and so forth. But again, this will fill in eventually. Doesn't really hurt the forecast at all because we kind of already projected that into the forecast. We knew that was coming. So on and so forth there. So that's your current radar. Again, this is all moving east. So for places like Elizabethtown, Bardstown, should be starting within the next hour or so. Lexington, Frankfort be another couple to 3 hours. Louisville will be another couple to 3 hours. London and Somerset, your show should be starting here soon. However, down to the south here, it's going to cut off, and dry air is going to mix in for southeastern Kentucky. But again, we built that into the forecast, and we'll show you that forecast map once again here in a little bit. Here are your current temperatures out there. Well, that's current humidity. And this kind of shows you this kind of shows you what I was talking about as well. The current humidity levels out in Western Kentucky are almost 100%. That means it's really moist out there and really able to support snowfall, rainfall down to the ground. Here in Central Kentucky, it's about 60 to 70. You really need to see this number go over 70 for the water to turn on. And technically, Elizabethtown and Hardin County is at 74. So again, soon it should be able to turn on whenever that precipitation actually moves over. The problem is it's going west to east, right? So it's got to go back through these drier slots out in Ohio County and drier slots out here in Breckenridge County. Again, so that a lot of those counties are actually killing it for like Hardin County and down here in Grayson County right now. But again, eventually all of these numbers will jump up to 80 or 90, and a lot of the snow will be able to turn on. All right. So again, we built all that into our forecast, not really anything to change there. There is a slight downtrend on the amount of moisture available with this. Again, we kind of built that into the forecast as well. So a lot of people are going to be on the lower side of those ranges. The reason we made the ranges a little bit bigger was simply because of the meso banding we may see on Wednesday night. So if you pay attention to that map that we showed earlier, we're going to show you again here soon. Those are snowfall totals through Thursday morning, not tonight or Wednesday morning. So if you go outside tomorrow morning, you're like, George, I'm 1 inch shy of where I'm supposed to be. You're going to make it up on Thursday morning. Late Wednesday night to Thursday morning. So keep that in mind as we go through here. By the way, I was told we have a number one fan, Lauren Ford. So I had to give a quick shout out and a thank you to her and everyone else at Sports W&K. But it was a really cool backstory that none of you guys are going to know about. But yeah, so again, none of you guys are going to know what that even means. But quick shout out to Lauren. Thank you for tuning in all the time. And thank you for ranking us as your number one show along with The Bachelor. That's insane there. Thank you, Lauren. All right, so let's look at the latest model data here. I'm going to show you the HRRR model, and then we're going to go to the mid-range NAM 3K model, and I'm going to show you what Wednesday night might look like. So for tonight, again, has a snow reaching around the I-65 corridor between 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So a little bit later in that window that we showed you there earlier today. Again, the storm system's kind of slowed down a little bit dry air on both sides. It kind of worked to slow the system down overall. Advances forward to 10 to 11 p.m. Slow snow has now made it up to the I-64 corridor. Dry slots have mixed in down to the southeast and south central Kentucky. And again, we built that into the forecast. Advances forward to midnight to 2 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see that snow has pretty much made it all the way through Kentucky at this point with some dry slots mixing in. I will warn you that this is going to be incredibly light stuff. You're going to look outside here and be like, how in the world are we supposed to get 3 to 4 inches out of this? The way we do that, and I'll show you in a second, is our temperature is extremely cold. All right. Advances forward to 3 to 4 a.m. Still heavy snow's going. I fully expect that you'll see almost all counties in Kentucky close their schools tomorrow. That's pretty much inevitable at this point. I think you'll see a lot of them go ahead and cancel tonight once the snow actually starts, because as soon as the snow starts, it's going to stick immediately. All right, advances forward to 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Snow begins to clear out from west to east here. Dry slot has really cut into this northern side here. Really a nice snow ongoing from Pikeville to Somerset at this point, back stretching toward maybe Scottsville there. Advancing this forward to 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern time. Just snowfall going on out Wednesday morning here out in eastern Kentucky. And the snow will just kind of linger for those higher parts of eastern Kentucky until about lunchtime tomorrow. So that's tonight into Wednesday. What I want to show you now is the potential for Wednesday night going into Thursday. And that's where a lot of you are going to make up your totals at. All right, because I'll go ahead and kind of say it. The main wave is running a bit drier than all data indicated all day yesterday, all day today. So there may be a little bit of lackluster amounts for that main wave, but this back wave is where you're going to make up some of that. So Wednesday night starting around 6 to 7 p.m. or so, we do have another wave that may spark out in southern Indiana and really grow. What it's trying to do is catch up to the other wave that we saw there and face together. It never will, but it will throw it down another quick inch or so for us, and maybe some spots of 2 inches or so. By about 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, you can see some nice snowfalls ongoing from Cincinnati all the way back down toward, let's say, Madisonville, Hopkinsville, and some dry slots mixing in on this front edge here. And then advances forward to 11 to about midnight on Thursday, kind of pushing east of I-65 at this point, and then just lingering snowfalls out there toward I-65. I will go ahead and show you the model data's latest snowfall projections here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. My internet's going like really slow tonight. Again, it's a little bit on the lighter side compared to our zones. The dry air is kind of really helping to kind of limit some things here. But overall, it's pretty solid here. This is just one model run. And then we'll go back over here to the HRRR model and show you its idea. Again, this kind of really matches our forecast, ironically. So if you remember our forecast earlier, it really matches it. Like, really. I mean, you get the higher zone here, and then a stretch of 4 to 6 inches all the way through Kentucky. 3 to 6 inches is going to be a very common number by the time you all go out and measure on Thursday morning. Again, by Thursday morning. Not Wednesday morning, by Thursday morning. 3 to 6 inches is going to be a very common number, except for those folks north of the I-64 corridor. All right. So I know Louisville got issued a winter storm warning. I still only expect their snowfall totals to be about 3 to 4 inches in that county in Jefferson, which is very borderline on the winter storm warning. You could argue that there should have just been 3 separate winter weather advisories, but the totality of it all, the impact of it all, is why I believe the winter storm warning got issued, and it's fine. You know, it is what it is. So I'm going to show you our forecast along with the new National Weather Service's forecast. But of course, before we get to that, have to pay the bills here. Thank our sponsors, because they're the only reason here that we're able to be here for you guys 24/7. So listen to this quick message from our sponsors. Only lasts 70 seconds. When it gets done, I'll show you our snowfall maps. FBI Buildings has over a half a century of experience in renovating, remodeling, and rebuilding any residential and commercial building. They also can give your pole barns new life. If any disaster does hit, be sure to go to FBIbuildings.com for a free quote. Digital Solutions in Radcliffe, Kentucky is a family-owned tech shop. Be sure to repair or purchase any device from them and keep the business local. Thank you to Kayla and her team for supporting W&K. It's a good idea after this harsh winter to make sure your roofs are ready to go for the springtime storms. If you're in or around Hardin County, make sure you check out Hyper Roofing at the link on your screen. And that link, by the way, will also be in the description below. I could list all of their accolades, but just know if I trust them and recommend them to you, that my word is good. Get ahead of the storms by making sure your home is ready for them. Right Implement has over 15 locations throughout all of Kentucky and making it convenient for you to go shop with them. They're our longest standing sponsor and we appreciate them so much for their support. They have so many things from outdoor apparel to outdoor vehicles to things to help you on your farm. Right Implement is such a phenomenal company and someone that you really want to support in Kentucky. Thank you so much to Right Implement and to all of our sponsors. We appreciate you. Let's get back into the video. Yes, thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate them so much. Again, that's how we can be here for you guys 24/7. So I hope you consider supporting them since they support us. Thank you to every one of those folks. All right, so here's the latest thinking from the National Weather Service, and then we're going to show you our forecast as well. But here's the latest thinking from the National Weather Service. Again, a very wide spread, basically 3 to 6 inches for pretty much all of Kentucky. Around that I-64 corridor, as you see there, 64, follow this red line. Going to the north there, that's where the totals begin to drop off. So southern Jefferson County might be toward the 3 to 4 inch zone, while northern Jefferson County toward downtown might be closer to the 2 to 3 inch zone there. So, and again, this is a pretty similar to our map. So again, widespread 3 to 6 with heavier amounts out in eastern Kentucky, heavier amounts out in western Kentucky. Here's our forecast here that we showed you guys earlier today. It has not changed, and really our forecast has not changed all too much anyway. We just kind of fine-tuned it a little bit. So even all the way back from our first confidence map that we put out 3 days ago, it hasn't really changed too entirely much. But a swath of maybe 1 to 3 inches, probably more like 1 to 2 inches out there for northern Kentucky. Maysville, where it may start to go up to 2 to 4 inches. Downtown Louisville, so on and so forth there. Lexington and Louisville Metro, 3 to 5 inches is the zone there. And again, this is by Thursday morning. So I want to reiterate that for a 5th time. Because I know a lot of you are going to go out there tomorrow morning and measure and be like, George, I'm about an inch short here. Again, this is through Thursday morning. So we were going to make 2 separate maps, but then a lot of confusion happens with 2 separate maps. There's good and bad to making either 1 map or 2 maps. We decided to make just 1 big map here and call it a day. So this is through Thursday morning. We probably should have put that in the title up there. That's an oversight by me. A wide swath of 4 to 7 inches here. And again, I think a lot of folks are going to be closer to 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches through here. The only reason we have the number up to 7 is because there's going to be little meso bands within this where you're going to have slightly heavier snowfalls train over the same areas. So, for example, now this may not be perfectly happening, but for example, E-Town and Danville in there could be a swath of 6 to 7 inches, right? So that could happen throughout a lot of those places. All right, this pink zone, this dark blue zone on here is 3 to 6 inches, very similar to the zone up here, but the reason we have the up to 6 is again for the possibility of meso bands, and that pretty much splits Warren County in half. Scottsville going to southern Somerset, going on here southern portions of Kentucky line and the Kentucky and Tennessee border. Your temperatures actually come up to about 30 degrees at some point, 28 to 30 degrees at some point, and that's going to hurt your snowfall rates a little bit, so that's why we took you down from 4 to 7 to 3 to 6 there. Highest zones are absolutely going to be far eastern Kentucky and far western Kentucky. So far eastern Kentucky, you're going to see repeated snow showers, light showers all the way through Thursday morning. Really going to add to your totals there. Western Kentucky, you're seeing the big bang from the start of this, a little more moisture punch with it. So that's why you're a little bit higher there. So again, I want to reiterate, please look at the ranges of the forecast, not just the top number. I know a lot of us love to see 9 inches out in Paducah and like, oh my goodness, we're going to get 9 inches. No, please look at the range. You're going to have spots that get 6, spots that get 9. All right, so on and so forth there. Am I missing anything there? Of course, we do not recommend travel tomorrow. We do not recommend travel on Thursday and potentially on Friday for some of those harder hit areas. Again, we're not going to really come above freezing until Saturday, or at least come close to freezing until Saturday. So another really cold pattern is heading in here. Matter of fact, I think we have some extreme cold advisories or extreme cold warnings already being issued for the Kentucky area. Very, very cold air. Once again, almost similar to that January storm where we had snow and it kind of just stuck around for a while. The difference is this is much more of a powdery snow, so you can go out there and kind of blow it with your leaf blower off of your driveway snow. The caveat to that is it's harder for snow plows to push dry snow. Yes, I know science is a very weird thing, but it's very hard for plows to push dry snow because it doesn't really want to move via plow. It moves via wind. So maybe if we can get some trucks to have some leaf blowers kind of just taped to the front of them, maybe it'll work a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just thinking. That's called redneck ingenuity right there. All right. So that's the current snow forecast there. I do want to show you the temperatures because this is the reason, even though we're going to see incredibly light moisture, this is the reason we're going to see incredibly efficient snowfall. So when that snowfall actually starts, here at about 8 p.m. Eastern time or so, many folks are in the upper teens, low 20s. Again, southern Kentucky, you're up towards almost 30 degrees, so your snowfall rates are going to be a little bit lower than everyone else. The way this works is the colder that you are, the higher your snowfall ratio is. So typically for every 1 inch of liquid, you get almost 10 inches of snow. That's an average. That's about 32 degrees, right? When you start going colder, let's say 20, 15 to 20 degrees, well, your snowfall rates go all the way from 10 to 1 to maybe even 17 to 18, maybe even 20 to 1. So technically you get more bang for your buck, more value for each drop of liquid. All right. So if it's us forward to Wednesday morning when the snow begins to get on that backside, you'll see temperatures almost drop to the single digits and low teens. So incredibly nice snowfall rates, very efficient snowfall, very, very dry, fluffy snowfall. Again, it's almost going to look like baby powder out there for a lot of folks. Very, very fine snowfall. Advance us forward. I do want to show you the temperatures for Thursday morning because they're absolutely brutal. Again, this tries to show a lows, between 7 to 10 degrees. If we have snow on the ground, it will absolutely be colder than this. All right, and then wind chills for Thursday morning. Even if we don't really see the snowfall, wind chills for Thursday morning are absolutely brutal. Negatives for a lot of folks. And again, if we see snowfall on the ground, this will be colder. All right, so a pretty really strong burst of cold air throughout Kentucky. So you've got snowfall, but the main story might actually be how cold it's going to get. Make sure you bring your pets inside. Of course, all that good stuff. If you don't have a way to bring them inside, of course, we'll give them a room at Creature Comfort Inn in Brandenburg, Kentucky. It's worth the drive. They're phenomenal people. Thank you to those folks. Wanted to give them a quick special shout out there. Again, make sure you drop your pets off, and they take almost any pet at Creature Comfort Inn. All right, I'll get to a few questions now. I'm not going to get to every single question because we've been forecasting this for several days at this point. You guys hopefully should know what's about to happen in your area, so on and so forth. I'll zoom in on the map there. Again, this is our latest snowfall thinking, and it hasn't really changed too much. Yeah, Lacey, it's going to take some time to make it to the ground there. You got to saturate the entire column of air, and it's going to take some time to make it to the ground. So, again, give that just a little bit longer there. What about the wind? The wind doesn't seem too bad with this. 15 to 25 mile per hour may create some blowing snow. It shouldn't be too terrible though. I think blizzard level is like 35 mile per hour or so, so you're technically well below blizzard level. But maybe some blowing snow because of how light and dry the snow is. Perhaps some blowing snow is possible with this. Mayfield's technically in that 4 to 7 zone. Yeah, Cusby. Pretty much everyone in Kentucky will see snowfall. It just depends on where you're at, exactly where you're going to see how much snowfall. Oh yeah, Kira, I absolutely smashed some fish fillet sandwiches this morning. Absolutely, or not this morning, I guess this afternoon. I want to get some of those turtle nations, by the way. I missed a lot of those. Megan with 99 stars, Jonathan with the 200 stars, Angela with the 50 stars, Melinda with the 100, Amy with the 500, Nikki with the 50 stars, Amy with another 1,000 stars. That's a different Amy. No, it's the same Amy. Thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate that generosity a lot. Sunday with 99 stars. Jonathan with the 600 stars, my friend. Sean with the 50 stars. Ashley with the 200 stars. Sean with the 20 stars. Andrea with the 1,000 stars. Oh my goodness. Missy with the 20 stars. Jonathan with another 200 stars. Missy with the 20 stars. James, thank you for your 100. Missy with another 50. Cassandra, I hope I'm saying that correctly, with 145. Beth with the 50. Caitlin with the 20. Jill with the 290. Jill with another 20. And I hope I got everybody at this point. Garrett with the 200 stars. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your guys' donations and kindness. Thank you for all of your support. And of course, Jose on YouTube with the $2 super chat. Oh, goodness. Again, main time frame for the heaviest snowfalls is going to be late tonight around 10 p.m. Eastern time to about 5 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. That's going to be your time frame. Generally, for a lot of folks, of course, Paducah and Murray and folks out in Madisonville, Western Kentucky, your heaviest snowfall is obviously now until about midnight. But for a lot of folks in Kentucky that's outside of that Western Kentucky area, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. is going to be pretty much your heaviest snowfall time frame. If it's going to be cold, might as well snow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, and the good thing is, we're not getting a lot of liquid with this. So we're actually only getting about zero point 0.2 inches of liquid with this for a lot of folks. So it's not going to be too much liquid to really impact things any further. To compare that, of course, to what we saw this past weekend, a lot of folks saw between 5 to 8 inches of rainfall this past weekend. So a much different type of liquid we're talking about here. Um, Again, by the way, I do want to make a quick note. I saw this on model data earlier. I don't know if it's still here. Something really cool might happen tonight. Um, is it still going to show up? It does a little bit, not as much as it did earlier. But these little grays that you're seeing on your screen, those are actually lightning strikes that may show up. So some folks out in Western Kentucky, maybe even stretching over toward Bowling Green, Madisonville, Grayson County, so on and so forth, may see some thunder snow again. It's not going to be abundant. It may only be one or two places that sees it. But we're keeping an eye on it to see if any lightning strikes show up. Because thunder snow is a really, really cool thing to look at. Man, that dry slot is just pissing me off. It's making me so mad. And again, this is why we give ranges, folks, because we have to build in for the fact that dry slots may occur. But look at this dry slot. So again, just to point out here how weather usually works is you usually create a nice symmetrical shape. Like, for example, this one would be a circle, right? So you have this kind of concave in right here. This is what we call virga. So this basically tells us that either at the ground or somewhere on the surface, it's too dry to allow that snowflake to live to the ground. So again, we have a dry slot kind of building in here. So again, we can kind of already point out that E-Town, Barstown, Danville, Campbellsville, stretching that back out to Grayson County, Breckenridge, and Meade counties might be on the lower end of those ranges because the virga is taking forever to actually allow that atmosphere to get moist enough to saturate to allow that snowflake. Oh my goodness, that snowflake to make it to the ground. So, snowflakes once again, or dry slots just really irritate me. Just really. This is why snow forecasting is incredibly hard, and I'm incredibly over it, and I would like to get to spring at this point. And you guys know that I love winter. I love snow. I love this time of year. But man, I'm tired of making snow maps. I'm tired of making snow maps. Caitlin with the 200 stars, Jonathan with the 200 stars. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. No ice at all with this. We are well below freezing level at every single layer of the atmosphere. Actually, about several thousand feet up. It's some of the coldest air I've seen in a while. No ice with this at all. What time West Kentucky? Obviously now until about 3 to 4 a.m. Eastern time, if you use your peak time frame. Jonathan with the 100 stars, I appreciate that. George, you enjoying an adult beverage there? No, did I miss something? Did someone give me a little bit? I need more sleep. I need more sleep, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Chris, and it'll slowly turn on in BG. Again, our atmosphere is running a bit drier than models showed, so it's going to take a little bit longer for that snowflake to make it down to the ground. And how radars work is there's a sensor that kind of goes a radar and it has kind of a sensor, if you will, or a laser, if you will. Just kind of trying to make it very layman here, and it shoots a nice beam up to the atmosphere. And if it detects something, it'll send that beam back to the radar. So even if it detects something, 1,000 feet up or whatever it might be, right? It'll send that back to the radar, even if that might be drying up before it gets to the ground. So this is why you sometimes see things happening on radar, and there may not be actually happening on, in front of your eyeball. So that's why your all's reports are super critical on days like today, especially where we know the atmosphere is drier at levels. We need to know when that snow machine kind of turns on for your area. Jonathan, with the 50 stars, slurring your words. Yeah, I know. I figured it out if you send it. Thank you very much, my friend. Carolyn with the 50 stars. Thank you. I appreciate that. Campbellsville, Kentucky, firmly in that 4 to 7 inch zone, but probably closer to that 4 than you are to that 7. And that's going to be the case for a lot of folks. All right. So, that said, I think we're going to end the broadcast there. I think we've done enough here to explain what's happening. We have several posts on our Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you go follow those. Turn on notifications in case we go live again. Jennifer, thank you for the 200 stars. So, no power outages. No, probably not a whole lot of power outages because of the snow. Again, very light snow is going to fall right to the ground. So, not really seeing too many issues with that. All right, that said, I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you to our sponsors. Don't forget to donate to the Storm Relief Fund if you can. We appreciate that. A lot of these communities need your help. And any little thing that you can give, it really does add up. Do not think that any small donation is unimportant. It absolutely is. All right, so I appreciate you guys so much. I will continue to give you updates throughout the night, let you guys know what's happening. Again, expect for a lot of you to be on the lower end of your ranges. The only reason we went to the higher end on those numbers in some places is for the reason that we may see some training of heavier bands occur. But most folks, again, I think 3 to 5 inches will be a very common number by Thursday morning. So I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your stone donations, all your shares, all your likes, all the new followers, all the good stuff. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time, okay?